Hello, I'm Noy, and you're watching for GuitarPlayersOnly.com.
Yeah. Woo. Hi everyone, John Liebman here. You're watching for GuitarPlayersOnly.com. We're coming to you today from the Xotic booth at the 2017 Winter NAMM Show, Anaheim, California, with our very special guest today, Noy. Shalom, Oz.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Good to see you. Shalom, shalom. אני מאוד מאוד שמח לפגוש אותך היום. Oh, I forgot. They don't speak Hebrew.
Exactly.
Well, why don't we do it in English for our audience here? Boy, I love your playing. I love what you're doing. I love what you've done. And I would like to find out more about your history, your upbringing. You are from Israel. And tell us about those early days. How were you first exposed to music? And how did you become a guitar player?
The Beatles. The Beatles was my first influence. So once I heard the Beatles, I actually wanted to play drums, and then a friend of mine took me to do a guitar lesson. That was it.
Okay.
And then after that, I was listening to some Israeli pop and rock and stuff like that, but a lot of Beatles.
Do you remember a band called Poogie?
Not Poogie, Kaveret.
Well, okay, but people called them Poogie.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I love that stuff. That's what I grew up on.
Yes, that was Israeli rock and roll.
It's like the Beatles of Israel.
That's right.
Really good.
That's
stuff,
right.
Yeah.
Well, Israel has always had a real appreciation for all kinds of music, right?
I guess.
Well, I mean, when people go and I had a chance to talk to some jazz guys,
like
and
they
said
they like a lot of jazz there. They like English pop, rock. They like American. They like the everything, and also the Middle Eastern stuff, of course.
When I was 15 years old, I was in Israel, and I was sitting in the lobby of the hotel with my guitar, and some guy came up to me and he said, "You know how to play like Jimi Hendrix?" I said, "Sure." Well, tell me a little bit more, because I know that once you started, once you got into it, you got pretty involved in the scene there and started doing a lot of stuff and playing a lot of shows.
Young age, yeah. Well, once I started to study jazz in a young age, and once I got into that, I started to do jazz gigs really young. But then I also was able to play with a lot of the pop singer-songwriter guys that are there, in a really young age. So when I moved to New York when I was 24, I already played with most of the people there. But I think between the age of 16 or 15 to 24, I was already doing professional work,
Okay. What made you get up and go to New York? I must have taken some cuts, huh?
Yeah. A bunch of my good friends went there. Then people always told me you gotta go to New York. I don't know. So I just, and I was interested in jazz, so that's kind of the center. Although I also played other music. I always played professionally, studio work and rock and stuff like that. So.
Okay, but when you went there, did you have anything lined up, or did you just
No,
say,
nothing.
"I'm 24, I'm gonna go"?
24, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
I would never do it today. I wouldn't have the balls to do it today. But
Just
when you're 24,
showed up with your guitar in
You
one
just
hand and
show
your
up.
toothbrush in the other, and here I am. Right?
Correct.
Well, so what
And
happened?
I saved some money too.
Well, that's
I
good.
won't have to sleep
That's
on
important.
on the street. Yeah.
So what happened when you got there? Because I saw some names of guys that you've played with. Vinny Colaiuta, Anton Fig, Will Lee, James Genus. A whole
Well, it
great
takes
big.
a long time. When you get there, in the beginning, nothing happens. Then you have to start hanging out and doing sessions and work and playing a lot and hanging out and checking out some music and practicing, of course. And things kind of develop. It takes years. Yeah.
You've got a long list of. It seems like you're putting out a new solo album every year and a half, every couple of years.
It's basically a solo album every 2 years, but I released two live records kind of in the middle. Like one was actually the first one, and then one kind of happened as without planning to Asian Twist, the live album. It was after a tour in Asia. So basically every 2 years I release a record, but sometimes something kind of happens in the middle.
All right. I don't know how you will respond to this question, but I have a reason for asking. I just wanted to know how you would describe your playing, and the reason I ask you that is because somewhere on your website I saw a quote from you that says, "It's jazz, it just doesn't sound like it."
Correct.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I'm playing jazz. The whole improvisational is like jazz. It's just the grooves and it's just we're not swinging, and it's electric. So that's when I play my music, I think of it as jazz, but it's just not like we're not swinging or playing upright, and it's more electric.
Do you ever do any of that?
I do that. I do any of it. I do that all the time. I just never recorded a record of that. I'm chickened out every year. I'm like, I'll do this year, but I will soon.
Well, the last one came out in 2016, so it's time to start thinking about the next one.
I already have the next one. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have a boogaloo band that I'm going to record next year. And there's another band that I'm doing some surprise that will be cool with a singer, actually. Okay. So there's a couple of things, but the jazz thing, I just have to figure out how to do it where it's going to mean something. I just don't want to release just a couple of standards that nobody will care about. You know what I mean? I'm not into just releasing stuff for the hell of it.
Yeah. Well, that's why your albums are so good.
I hope so.
Let's talk about your equipment. I mentioned we're here in the Xotic booth. And there's some beautiful guitars and basses behind us. Which models do you play? What kind of Xotic equipment do you use?
The Strat is just a regular Strat, where with a rosewood neck and a older body, and the pickups, they always make the bridge pickup hotter for me because I use it a lot. It's very basic. It's like a vintage Strat.
So what do you like about it? Why do you play Xotic?
It feels really good and it sounds really good.
What else is there, right?
Yeah. And the pedals, of course, I've been using since they came out. And it's literally my sound, my signature pedal that's coming out in a couple of months. It's called the RCAC or ACRC, depending on how you read it. That's literally my sound. So they put the RC and the AC together for me, and there's an extra thing on the RC, and it's great.
That'll be available to the public sometime?
Yeah, actually, funny enough.
Just happened to have.
No, this is the prototype that it's in my pedal board. You can see I took it on my pedal board because they didn't. This is the prototype. The artwork's gonna look different, but this is the pedal. It's great.
Okay, we'll get a close up of that.
Yeah. So
Okay. How about the future, Oz? What else would you like to do that you haven't already accomplished? And beyond a new solo release every couple of years and gigging in clubs, is there a special project? Is there something you've always wanted to do that just you haven't gotten around to yet?
I really just want to play better and just keep making records that I haven't made before or play with other people. I don't know, I just feel like I just started. I don't feel accomplished at all, So
I think a lot of people would differ with you on that. Who's on the last record? The latest one?
It came out like 6 months ago. Well, there's a feature artist on every track. So Fred Wesley from the JB's band,
wow. Okay.
John Medeski, Randy Brecker, Chris Potter, Robin Ford, Dwizzle Zappa, Corey Glover. We did a version of Little Wing. Corey Glover from forgot the name of the band now. Living Color sang on it. Joe Bonamassa played on it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Those are the guests. Those are not the rhythm section. Those are the guests again.
Robin Ford, Joe Bonamassa. I've seen lots of other. You like to have lots of other guitar players.
I love playing with guitar players. It's my favorite.
Mike Stern and
Lukather, Eric Johnson played on a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Who else? I can't remember now.
Okay. How do you work that out?
I just call them.
No, I mean when you're doing the recording. To play together, you want to play.
Well, some of the stuff we played together, like with Eric, we played together, and I actually wrote a song that will fit both of us. With Lukather, we overdubbed him. With Stern, I kind of wrote a tune that will kind of fit both of us. So we played together. Robin and Joe overdubbed because I couldn't get them in the studio at the same time. If it's an involved record where it's kind of more jazzy and you have to have a lot of interaction, I would never do it if everybody's not in the room.
Right.
But because the last record was more like an R&B kind of soul funk kind of thing. So the grooves are very static, you know what I mean? It's just a straight groove. So it wasn't a big deal to overdub some solos, you know?
Last question, Oz.
Yeah.
I said Oz. I'm trying to. It's like it's between.
You're saying it the right way.
It's between
That's the way.
O and A. It's
Yeah.
Oz.
There you
Oz.
go.
I'm just trying to be
The
authentic
first
here.
American that says my name right. Woohoo!
What would you be if you were not a guitar player?
An astronaut, of course.
Didn't take you long to come up with that. Well, congratulations on all your success, and I'm really glad things worked out the way they did. Thanks for having the guts to get up and go to New York and hit the big city and make it happen.
Yeah.
Much luck and continued
All right,
success
thank
to
you very
you
much.
always, and keep us posted on all the new projects and everything else, and the exotic equipment, and we will let everybody know. With our good friend Oz Noy at the Xotic booth at the 2017 Winter NAMM Show, Anaheim, California. I'm John Liebman. You're watching for GuitarPlayersOnly.com.